To take us through this process are Mark Bardsley, Binance's Senior HR Business Partner, and Christelle Tang, Binance France Operations. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome them to the stage.
Hello? Hello. Hi, everyone. Honestly, I'm so excited to be here. You have no idea. Because a few months ago, I could have been sitting here or being on screen. Hi, Binance Live friends. And now, look where I am today. I'm with Mark Bardsley, our Senior HR Business Partner, and he's probably one of the best person to guide us through your Web3 career. So Mark, first of all, can you introduce yourself, tell us more about your background?
Sure. First of all, bonjour, everyone. Apologies, my French isn't great, so this will be in English. But just want to say a big thank you to everyone that came, and yeah, it's great to see you all here. So I guess a bit about my background. I, like Christelle, fairly new here as well. I could have been one of you sat out there today. But my background actually was, I started off actually in the talent acquisition space. I was a headhunter for many years in Asia and across the UK and the US before moving into the business partnering role. But I've always worked within financial and technology areas, and previously within the financial data markets as well. And yeah, it's what brought me to the doors of Binance and has given me a good insight to the careers, the types of people, and how to take that career into this space.
Oh, okay. And but why now? Why now is the time to seize the chance to create a Web3 career?
I actually think that's a really good question. Why now? And I think if we look at the industry, first of all, you know, it's good to sort of look a bit further back, right? If you think about the development of the internet and web and technology in itself, right? And we think late 80s with the first creation of the internet, and then the early 2000s, you know, both were pinnacle times in terms of our journey with technology. And both had skepticism, both had fear, both had worry, right? And, you know, it then happened to have a massive boom and really took us where we were. And we're at that point right now, right? We're at that point now where we're looking at this technological landscape where we look at Web 3.0, we look at blockchain, we look at its applications, and we're really at that precipice. We're really at that edge in terms of where this industry can go. And you know what? It's a fantastic and exciting time to be on this journey. And you can consider people that are coming into it now really the pioneers of where this industry is going to go. And I mean, look at the event today, right, or over the last few days, and the amount of different people that have been brought together, the different applications of technology, the different areas. You know, it is such a fantastic time to bring these amazing minds of different people around to really invest and grow this industry. So, yeah, it is now the right time, 100%. 100%. You know, I'm so excited to see where it goes. It was one of the reasons myself, and I'm pretty sure yourself, on why we jumped into it, right? You know, it's just so exciting. The other thing as well is there's space for a lot of different people to make a career for yourself at the moment in it, right? You know, if you think about other industries, there's a lot of history and a lot of boxes of where everyone needs to be put in. Because we're at that sort of really important time within the industry, there's so much space for you all to contribute and to go further into it. So yeah, I genuinely think now is a fantastic time to really get involved.
All right. With it being such an interesting time to join the industry, what would be some of the ideal set of skills required by the industry? And is there any typical candidate profile according to you?
That's a really good question as well. Look, to be honest, I don't actually think there is a typical profile, right? And the reason why I say that is because one of the things I sort of mentioned earlier is that the amount of entry points into the industry itself. You know, the applications of technology are so vast. Obviously, if we think about it and we think of Binance and what we do, starting as an exchange, you can think of the financial mediums and the financial impacts in those areas. And so obviously, to people of the financial services industry, and that means many different things, regulation, technology, a whole different amount of trading. There is that traditional set where you could say people are coming from. However, we only have to look at the last discussion that was here, right? In terms of NFT application and the music technology, it just really demonstrates that you can build your skill set in this industry in many, many different ways and apply it. So for me to sit here and tell you today, oh, we're looking for X amount of skills, this, that, and the other, I'd be lying, to be perfectly honest. But you know what? The one thing I would say you do need is passion, right? I think probably every single person in this room is here because they're passionate about the industry. They're passionate about what they do. So yeah, really having that passion, and not only just passion, but arming yourself with knowledge about the industry. And there's many ways you can do that, right? Here at Binance, we have Binance Academy, for example, right? And we're also partnering with Binance Charity and a number of other local charity and partners to give that access of information and knowledge to people that are out there. It's equipping yourselves with these skills. Arming that alongside your passion is going to be that gateway to getting into the industry. And then I guess the final thing is being able to articulate it. If you want to come and join an organization like a Binance or another major player in the market, you have to actually be able to tell them why, right? You have to be able to articulate what it is you're bringing to the table and why you want to make an impact on this industry. And so then if you can apply those skills to the other skills that you come from in your background, in your career, it gives you a real good foot in the door. And then the rest is up to you.
Binance. I have to talk about Binance. What makes a career at Binance so unique? You have to tell us, and stand out among other alternatives in the Web3 space.
Yeah, well, first of all, again, I think, look at the event around you, right? There's not many other people doing such impactful things like this already and trying to cultivate that industry. But look, as an organization, one of the things that particularly attracted me to Binance, and I've been following the blockchain and the crypto industries for a number of years now, was just the fact, that it was a pioneer, right? We're 5 years old, but the amount of achievement and the amount of growth in those last 5 years has been phenomenal, right? And, you can think of us as an exchange, yes, but the reality is an organization, we're working on real-life issues, real-life projects which impact people all over the world, right? It's not just the mainstream areas. And I mentioned earlier, say, for example, our charity businesses, right? We've created charity businesses. We helped in terms of providing that access for monetary means to people in different areas in different parts of the world. We are contributing to learning programs, to the development of technology in universities to deepen those skill sets, right? It's just such an interesting organization which has so many different things. And because of that, yes, we have the trading side of it. Yes, we have the technology. Well, I say trading, I mean the exchange itself. We have those pieces. But the reality is there's so many good things that we're doing across different areas, which means we have such a diverse set of skill sets that are here. And when you work with good people on exciting things, it makes you happy to come to work at the end of the day. So yeah, it's great. I think the other thing for me is just the pace, the speed, and the ability to you're evaluated on your results. I think that's the best way to do it, right? You have an opportunity to really sort of go out, deliver, and it doesn't matter if you are a fresh graduate coming through, you're the person who's got 10, 15 years experience. There is a space for you to make an impact, and that's quite rare in a lot of industries and a lot of companies. I mentioned earlier about my career working in the talent acquisition space, and I worked with tech companies, I worked with financial institutions across the world, and the issue is there are a lot of industries where you have to serve X amount of time before you can go and do a certain amount of things, right? And I think this is one of those unique things about us here is that, it's up to you to make the impact. You're given that trust, you're given that ability. If you are, able to join and able to get in here, then it's because we trust you to go and make an impact. And that is a very unique part to a company culture, which is fantastic to be part of. And look, the other thing for me, I'll be completely honest, I love the remote working culture, right? I like the fact I can go into an office when at times, but I'd also at the same time, I don't have to commute 3 hours a day to make it into the office just to go and work. And that flexibility to balance my life and work at the same time, it's fantastic, right? You know, it's a very different thing rather than the old, hey, turn up 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, right? And I think, you know, from a talent perspective, it means we get great talent from all over the world because you're not restricted just because of where an office location is. So, you know, I think that's another big thing for us.
Funny fact about the remote work is that the reason why also I'm so happy to be here today is because this is our first time meeting physically.
Yeah. In person.
In person. We've worked many times together, but this is the first time us meeting. And let's say that now you've convinced everyone here and also everyone online. How can someone apply to Binance?
It's a good point, right? The application part to Binance is an interesting one. I mean, look, we, like a lot of companies, have traditional methods, right? And that is our careers page. We'll post out different jobs and advertisements, what we're going on as well. But apart from that, you know, there's a couple of other things for us to think about here. We have a fantastic talent acquisition team. They're out there partnering, whether it be with individuals directly, sourcing great talent. They also have people reaching out to them, right? You know, through traditional channels such as LinkedIn and other areas and social media. So, you know, that's something to think about when you're looking at a career in Binance. The other thing as well is some of you may have referrals of people that actually work here, right? And I'll be completely honest, referrals are a fantastic way for us internally to get great talent, because if you are working and you know someone here, they're good to know what type of person will be able to join as well. So, you know, that referrals piece is another big one for us. And then, look, these are the traditional methods to join Binance. But I think one of the talks that was done earlier, which was really good, was the Angels program, right? And we think about Angels, and that's another way of partnering with Binance in terms of other ways of contributing, collaborating, and building that presence and that relationship with us as well. So there's multiple different access points to applying. You know, we always welcome, you know, people trying to apply and speak to people here. At the end of the day, we want to talk to the best talent who can help us drive our company further forward, right? And that's what we're really looking for. So, you know, I really do, you know, hope that everyone does look at it. And if this is a company of choice for a lot of you, which I hope it is, you do try those avenues out.
All right, so to sum up, career page, working with our talent acquisition team, referrals. Referrals, does it mean that, for example, if today someone has a resume, he can go to anyone here at Binance?
No, not exactly. That is not exactly what I mean. No, referrals are, you know, if you know people within the organization itself, right? You have that relationship and they've done that process and they know good talent out there. Well, talk to them. Not only will they know the jobs, but they'll know what it's like on the inside these four walls and give you the real picture of how we are, you know, working very hard to deliver the best-in-class solutions. So that's what I mean by referrals.
All right. Apart from some of the avenue you just mentioned, are there any other alternative routes to become Binance?
So good that you mentioned that, actually. You know, as we sort of said, right, we're continuing to look for the best talent. There is multiple entry points, right, in terms of where we can get that talent. But one of the big things that we're actively working on this year is our internship programs. You know, it's something that we recognize, and you know, we mentioned earlier about the investment in education and university courses around blockchain technologies and things like that. So part of that as well for us is building out our own internship program, which we're looking at for 2023 and beyond, where we can actually take graduates and people that are in summer internships. You know, that's what we're looking to explore, so that people who've invested that time in getting an education in this industry have an access point to us as well. So we want to be able to capture that talent spectrum from, you know, all the way from the junior through to the senior area. So that's a real big one to come. But I think the other one, and I think a lot of the people in this room, you'll get an opportunity to do this today, post-meeting, will be networking, right? And I don't mean this just for Binance, I mean this for the whole industry and for your careers as well. The networking point is so critical in terms of that job development and that career path you want to take. You know, I think the thing interesting about networking is people often ask about networking when they need something, right? The interesting thing about networking is actually you should build your network before you need that something, right? So invest in that time, be active about it, proactively meet with people, connect with people, because the right job today might not be there for you from that networking perspective, but it might come along tomorrow, 6 months, 12 months down the line. And if you've invested in that time to network and get to know people in the industry in those areas, you're going to have an avenue in, and you're going to have someone to talk to about it. So, invest in that, learn, be inquisitive, talk to other people in the industry, build that knowledge, show your value. So the next time an opportunity does arise, someone will think about you because you made a good impression and you have that good skill set. So, I think that is a real interesting one to explore, and definitely one that I've personally implemented a lot in my career.
All right, and I have a last question, actually. Because this is the one question that many people have asked me, and especially girls. They are like, oh, you are not part at Binance in the blockchain industry. And there is this cliche saying that there are not that many girls in this industry. And what would you say to that cliche?
I'd say it's time to change things. And what I mean by that, right, is not just Binance and blockchain. I think technical industries, there's a lot of industries out there where you have traditionally low representation of female talent. And my thoughts to that is, go with your passions. Let's go and break those social norms down. I think, look, we're at the forefront of an industry. Why do we have to play to those norms, right? We want the best talent, and we want people to be represented across all of those areas. That it comes back as well to working from home, right? We have an opportunity and a remote culture where we can have people from all over the place. Why be limited, or why limit yourself because of the gender that you have, right? For us, there's a space in this industry. We will continue to be at the forefront of that. We'll continue to push those things forward. So I'd say if you have an interest in this industry and you're a female talent, don't let that be a limiting factor to yourself, right? We won't let it be a limiting factor to anyone. We want everyone to be interested, right? So look, let's break those social norms down. We're going to continue to try and be that inclusive and diverse workforce that we have, and we're going to continue to push that. So I welcome everyone, and I want to strip away that thought that you can't. I think this is the time and the opportunity, and Binance and also the industry are at the forefront of trying to do that. So, I'd keep pushing that further forward.
Good. You know what to do then. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mark.
Been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone here as well.